can you engage your mind in spiritual thoughts in today's world? This is a huge challenge for people who want to be spiritual. If you go out and tell somebody that you're a spiritual person, probably they will laugh at you. The world doesn't encourage you to be a spiritual person. They will try to drag you into worldly life, materialistic life. So for a spiritual person, it is a huge challenge how to be spiritual and keep the spirituality alive in the mind. Here are a few simple techniques which can help you to be a spiritual person in this world. The first is to remember that you are an eternal self. You have numerous identities, physical identities, identities that come to you by virtue of your status in society, your name, family name, etc. But beneath all that and all those identities is an eternal identity which is not associated with anything that belongs to this world. And that is your spiritual identity. To remember that you are an eternal self is very important if you want to be a spiritual person and practice spirituality. 2, you should focus on death. Usually we don't like to think about death. We try to avoid it because the longing for life is so powerful in us. We do not want to think about death. We want to be life-oriented. It's a good thing. However, in spiritual life, to understand the importance of life, to use your time preciously, and to value the opportunities that you have to practice spirituality, you need to think about death and remember that you are a mortal being. Many Hindu and Buddhist practices encourage this technique. They will encourage people to focus on death and think about death and understand the need for liberation and the importance of life and the precious opportunity that you have as a human being to work for your liberation. The third technique is to focus your mind on impermanence. We usually ignore the impermanence. We kind of think that the world is permanent. We focus on those things that stay for a longer time and get the illusion of continuity and permanence. But in reality, the world is very impermanent. Nothing here is permanent. Most people ignore that and get on with their lives. But if you are a spiritual person, you should focus on the impermanence of life and understand why it is important to cultivate detachment, sameness, equanimity, and why you need to become immune to the modifications in nature. So impermanence is an integral part of our lives, and you need to think about it, meditate upon that, and keep looking for changes in your environment and surroundings so that you can understand its value. So these 3 things are important. Knowing and remembering that you are an eternal self, meditating on the importance and the possibility of death or on the mortal life, and 3, noticing the changes that take place in the world to realize how impermanent it is. With these 3 techniques, you can keep your mind engaged in spiritual thoughts and you can draw it back from the environment to which it is frequently subject. Thanks.